皆さん、こんにちは。さて、ダイヤモンドシティに行く前に、久しぶりにガンフォーハイヤーのオフィスの様子を見に来ました。ついでに、お姉様をスポーンさせる装置をクラフトします。時々、トップレスの人がいるので、注意しないと。アダルト指定されると困るのでこの辺にしておきます。
Mr. Ron.
It's the Ron.
That makes no grammatical sense. I'm here to make a transaction, not indulge your delusions of grandeur.
Come on! Is a little courtesy really so much to ask?
Either I'm referring to you as Mr. Ron or Mr. Spritz. Your choice.
Whoa now! Where'd you hear that uncool name? Not that it was ever my name, because you can ask anyone, and they'll tell you, I'm the Ron!
Cut the guy a break, Lydia. You'll be at this shit for hours at this rate.
If you're unable to keep your commentary to yourself, then perhaps you should wait outside.
And miss this?
You're here, good. We can proceed.
Look, lady, the Ron already told you. This Norwood Bank, it's Deadsville. I got no useful info to give you.
That's a blatant lie, Mr. Ron. At minimum, you have the bank records that were delivered into your hands by our mutual associate not long ago. Your follow-up inquiries into the matter have not been subtle.
Whoa, hold the phone. Have you been keeping tabs on me? Don't tell me those records were bait.
What were you expecting?
For starters, not being spied on while I go about my business.
Let's cut to the chase. There is something in Norwood Bank that interests both of us. I am putting together an expedition to find it. I have the rest of the information, and the means of getting to it. I need your knowledge of the region to fill the gaps in intelligence.
All right, you got me. I know there's something of value at Norwood. Was just hoping I can have the place scoped out before anyone else went snooping. You drive a hard bargain, lady, but the Ron knows when to hold 'em, and when to fold 'em. I'll tell you what you want, on one condition.
Caps are of no consequence. You will be paid for your cooperation and discretion.
You can keep your caps. If you want my info, then you gotta let the Ron come with. Oh yeah!
Pardon?
Ooh, plot twist. I'm liking this guy more and more.
Why would you want to go?
Usually, I can turn to mercs or scavs to dig up info I might need. But I think there might be something quite valuable at Norwood Bank. So for this one, the Ron feels it's best to go himself. And since it appears the NLTC is already going, I might as well tag along.
Are you sure?
Have no fear. The Ron is a cat of many talents. When we find this joint, you'll be glad you brought me along.
It's a location to the southwest of here. If my research is correct, it contains certain assets that are crucial acquisition.
This place Miss Lid is talking about is called Norwood Bank, which just so happens to be in the glowing sea.
A fact that plays to our benefit. There is a high probability that it hasn't been looted since the war due to the heavy radiation. The bank itself had been a new construction, finished only a few months before the bombs fell.
But get this, only a few days before the bombs, the joint was robbed. Paper said a bunch of commie spies blew a hole underneath and filched the place.
Pre-war papers blamed commie spies for everything between afternoon rains to the common cold. An age-old PR scapegoating trick.
Why do you care?
I care because the contents of this bank are precisely what I need to show to the board. As far as you're concerned, well, it is a bank. I'm sure there's something there you'll find valuable. But I wouldn't believe anything regarding pre-war communist spies. I have no doubts it was merely a fear-mongering tactic.
How did you discover this place?
From the NLTC territory, I was able to ascertain the bank's existence, contents, and the architectural blueprints.
And the Ron's Information Emporium knows its exact location, which movers and shakers hang around it, and the least risky route there.
You two are adorable. I could watch this show all day.
Hold on. What kind of risk are you talking about?
I'm uncertain. Radiation is the most apparent hazard. Besides that, we have no way of knowing if the building remains structurally sound.
Oh, it's still standing, baby. Might require a touch of digging to get to the doors, though.
Not a concern. I keep specialists on payroll for overcoming such obstacles.
Then the biggest trouble will be the monsters outside. You know, ghouls, rats, scorpions, death claws.
Quite. You still have time to reconsider your desire to come along and stay in your Brahmin pen.
Let's get started then.
I will assemble the expedition. Miss Gale will provide security on the way, since she insists on getting involved. I assume you have your own ways of dealing with the hazard, so if Mr. Ron can so kindly mark the location on the map, you can meet us there.
This is gonna be fun.
Whoa there. Did it just get cooler in here?
Excuse me, miss?
Ah, yes. We have a small matter of your payment to discuss. A contract with you shouldn't compromise the plans at this stage. The offer is 2,000 caps for this job, with an advance of 500 up front for any supplies you might need for the glowing sea.
All right, thanks.
Here's the advance. Meet us at the bank's location when you're ready.
Me and my boys will get the princess through the glowing sea safe and sound. And the cool cat too. See you there.
スーパーデューパーマーケットのあたりですね。コンパニオンはラッドを食らっても大丈夫なのですが、気分的にバイオハザードスーツを着せます。ただ、この上からアーマーを着ることができないので、私はハズマットスーツで行きます。途中、サマービルプレイスによりました。
Don't worry, I can help. Tell me what happened.
I do not worry about my safety. I am, however, anxious to avoid violence in the future. I have done so much fighting and killing already. Too much. The Chinese in the Great War. Since then, other people in countless little wars. Always at the command of bloodthirsty humans. I do not dream, but I see their faces anyway. They pass before my optimal cortex, as my memory spools defragment in the quiet hours of the night. 1,162 faces. I see them in perfect, immaculate detail. I could tell you the color of their eyes, the number of lines on their faces, how they scream. I am sorry. I did not come to acquire sympathy. A new fusion core and an Assaultron circuit board will be sufficient to effect my repairs.
Don't worry, I'll get you up and running.
I do not worry. Thank you all the same. I will await your return.
New mission available.
探さなくても、 実は、すでに所持していました。今更ながら、私は、所持重量をコンソールで15000だったか増やしています。コンパニオンに拾わせればいいだけなので、フォールアウト4の所持重量制限は全く無意味だと思っていますので。帰りにまた寄ります。
Good, you're here. Let's get inside. My boys will keep an eye out here. We can handle whatever's inside.
Well there. Did it just get cooler in here? Hey!
Yes?
What's up, hon?
アリソンがハズマットを着ていないのが気に入らないが、もしかしたらサイボーグ的な何かなのかもしれないな。
Maybe later.
Oh, yeah!
What the hell is that?
Pre-war security!
Shit! This racket is bringing in the shamblers. Get ready! Watch your fire, hon. Phew. Hey, Your Highness. Cool cat. Are you both all right?
Mildly nauseated, but none the worse for wear.
Hey! The Ron is always as cool as a...
Cat?
Oh, yeah.
The security protocol has locked this room down. There was an override and...
Wait! Did you know this was going to happen?
It was a possibility. The security measures were part of the construction blueprints.
Princess, next time you know something that might lock us in a room with a bunch of ghouls, you tell me. Got it?
Don't presume to give me orders. And spare me your dubious professionalism, Chief of Security.
The hell is that supposed to mean?
Let's all just calm down.
I apologize for losing my temper. I've never been near so many ghouls before.
Welcome to the real world, sweetheart. At least you're a decent shot.
It was impossible for me to know ahead of time what would trigger the lockdown. I was more concerned it would already be engaged before we got here. There is an override in the security room. You can get around the lockdown through the ventilation system, then through maintenance.
Nice.
There's a security grate at the end, but you should be able to...
This vent?
Based on the blueprints I studied, yes.
It's flooded. I can hear the water echo.
Ah.
Are there any other options?
If there are, I'm not aware of them. The architects weren't considerate enough to illustrate escape routes for prospective robbers.
I'll see what I can do.
Once you're in the security office, you may have to figure out how to engage the override.
No need. I have the security code for the override.
Excellent. I see you finally decided to be useful.
Come on, one problem at a time. Let's get this vent open.
Get him, sir! Not much of a threat after all. Powering weapons.
Back on track.
Are you injured, sir? That's the last of them.
Sweet.
Think you can hide?
Hopefully, that's the last of them. That was amusingly
Looks like
simple.
trouble found us. Ready? Ugh. All right. You get in there. I'll stay with the geek squad. Make sure they don't bring any more ghouls with their bickering. And here, just in case the break gives you trouble.
Opening fire. That takes care of that. Get this done. Right after all. We've got
Fucking easy. Hell yeah!
Never fear, sir. We'll emerge victorious.
I'm back here, damn it!
Time to end this. That was amazingly simple.
ゾンビモッドを2つ使わせてもらっています。
Got it.
Stop fidgeting, princess. I'll hear ghouls coming.
I'm not worried about that. You have a reliable talent for destruction.
It's the dirt and the muck then, isn't it? Place must be driving you insane.
Please, focus. Good work. I believe we should have time to get our bearings and figure out the next step.
The vault door seems like a pretty big kink in the plan.
We're not here for the vault. We need to get into the...
Come again?
The archival wing. Please stop interrupting me.
Bank robbers didn't blast their way into the vault. They opened up the floor of the archive room. That's where we need to be. Damn, that's not cool. Looks like the archival wing is sealed due to contamination.
What does that mean?
Too much radiation.
Or an airborne pathogen, but your theory is far more likely given context. This won't be quite as simple as crawling through a vent. We will need to find a way to turn on environmental controls and scrub the radiation.
Place is probably crawling with ghouls, too.
A problem for after we find a way in. By the blueprints, the only path to the controls is through that door.
How do you know?
I've memorized the architectural blueprints ahead of time.
Yeah, Lydia would do all the NLTC bookkeeping in her head if she wasn't such a stickler for the almighty paper.
I was hoping for better news than that.
The better news is that I've seen worse. I reckon we can get this cleared. That said, I'm a strong gal and all, but I don't think I can jimmy that open by myself. Hey, big fella, think you and I could swing it?
What? Me? Not usually my line of work. But suppose we're in this together.
They can work on the door. Meanwhile, I believe it would be a better use of our time to explore in the other direction.
What exactly are we looking for?
Security checkpoints will require keycards, and we're likely to find some in there.
Lead on.
I believe it'd be in both of our interests if you take the lead.
キーカードにはクエストマーカーがちゃんとついていたのですが、表示していなかったので、探すのに往生しました。
Remind you of brighter days, sir.
Yes?
Make it quick, please.
That's it.
10分ほど探してから、マーカーを表示したらいいと気づきました。
That's a serious lock. Need to find a key.
No need. Allow me. Not a
お
problem.
めえが鍵を持って3
Hidden
回。
depths, princess.
Only a bit of patience and proper lockpicks.
We got incoming.
Takes care of that. Find anything useful?
I'm starting to doubt of seeing the look on Mr. Glatton's face. No, I don't doubt it.
There is a lot more of them. Your enemies are being dispatched. I suppose you of the civilized discussion instead. What was lost is found.
Safety's off.
Later, we will review these logs for relevant data.
There is
Someone
an
is
improbable
nearby.
number of ferals
Perhaps
here.
they are friendly.
It must have been a crowded building in its time.
So violent.
There's a reason I usually don't do the field work myself. That is, we want something done right. This is it. This operation is going better than expected. It's not the team I would have picked, but even the broker has proven himself to be acceptably competent. If you ignore the ridiculous moniker and the atrocious toupee.
What do you know about him?
Not as much as I would like. He shows his professionalism and how thoroughly he has swept his life from record.
He's a very dedicated man.
Dedicated to his job, yes. And quite good at it. If it wasn't for his grandiose delusions, I could almost respect him. I've never understood the drive to sell a meaningless image of oneself. Skill should speak for itself and require no illusions. It only makes people like Mr. Ron and Mr. Glatton frustrating. Always offering something they don't have instead of putting forth what they do. Sadly, most of the NLTC operates under the same delusions.
You sound troubled.
I suppose I am. We're here to secure the leverage that will prevent the NLTC from withdrawing from the region, to both our benefit. I'm sure you've already assumed this is an ambitious reach for power, but the reality is that I simply don't wish to return to home office. Not yet.
Why don't you want to go back?
Because there is little I can accomplish there. There is a thriving center, surrounded by rotting slums. What you're doing in the Commonwealth, though, I've never seen its like before. Not really.
There's more to this, isn't there?
Quite a bit more. Perhaps it'll prove a little of my intentions to divulge it. I was born into wealth. I live with it, work with it, procure more of it. Caps never had any significance. The things caps can buy, the people caps can pay off, none of it has meaning. Last thing I need is more of it. But the NLTC is full of people like Mr. Glatton. For them, money is a tool to be leveraged for power. Something to be taken away from others. The result is people like Miss Gale. She was born to less than nothing. And even that, the NLTC tried to take away. I tried to take it away.
What do you mean? What happened?
I'd proposed a renovation plan for a slum, Allison's hometown. To restore the piping and wiring, provide heating. I had humanitarian intentions, but it was a mistake. The board only approved it because of nepotism, with my father spearheading it. So I went to the slum demanding the people vacate while the repairs were made, for their own good. Some abysmal failures of diplomacy later, Miss Gale and the rabble she rallied sieged the Home Office. She killed my father. Mr. Glatton got promoted to his position. The board smoothed the incident over, but never forgot whose proposal it was originally.
I'm sorry about your dad.
Don't be. The man was a monster. I felt little about his death. If anything, I was relieved. His approval of the project was nothing but a bid to teach me a harsh lesson. He hadn't accounted for Miss Gell's effectiveness.
I'm sure you had good intentions.
Intentions hardly matter. They are not a quantifiable variable in economic equations. On a personal level, I've only ever wanted all this money to mean something, to make a difference other than adding zeros to papers. What you are doing here is exactly what I wish I could have done in the NLTC. Except, against all odds, you're actually succeeding. In any case, those are my reasons for being here. We've spoken long enough. Let's return to the others.
いつも高評価、そしてチャンネル登録ありがとうございます。とても励みになっております。いやー、モッドって本当にいいものですね。最後までご視聴ありがとうございました。